This week in sports, it's all about basketball. In the NBA, the only good team the Miami Heat can beat is the Lakers, but what about their own conference? I'm going to tell you how I think they will do in the playoffs. But in college basketball, that's where the focus is. The Big East tournament meets expectations for being so exciting you can't turn away. And Jimmer Fredette scored 52 for BYU, but his team barely matched that in the game that counted most. Welcome into This Week in Sports, the second edition. It's around Selection Sunday. Actually, it is Selection Sunday, and so we're going to do two topics about college basketball, and the player of the week is going to be in there, but we're going to start in the NBA. The Miami Heat had an awful losing streak, including a 30-point loss to the San Antonio Spurs, but they beat the Lakers both times they've played and won in LA. So why is the only good team they can beat the Lakers? Well, frankly, I don't know, because the Lakers have a ton of size advantages, and Kobe Bryant can score with LeBron and Wade any day, and the Lakers have Gasol, who I think's probably better than Chris Bosh is right now. But I just don't understand what the Heat problem is, because they are going to need to be better in the playoffs than they are right now. The Bulls have already leapfrogged them, and the Bulls are almost in first behind the Celtics, and the Heat are quite a few games out, and the schedule is not going to be easy in the playoffs because only the good teams are going to make it. The thing that concerns me about being the 3 seed is then you potentially have to play the Knicks, and the Knicks beat the Heat, and the Knicks match up well to the Heat, I think, because Melo and Amari can score with LeBron and Wade and Bosh, definitely, and Chauncey Billups has more experience than anybody on the Heat. So I think that the Heat have a very high measure of panic. I would put the panic meter at 9.5 right now. They really need to kick up their game, not just against the Lakers, because the only way it counts whether they can beat the Lakers or not is if they play them in the NBA Finals. So let's move to college basketball now. The Big East tournament had me glued to the screen watching every game. It was amazing. The biggest game probably for me, other than the championship of course, was UConn and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is the number 3 team, but they are not a guaranteed 1 seed anymore because Kemba Walker hit a buzzer beater to beat Pittsburgh, and Kemba Walker is this week's player of the week because of that, and because he led UConn to 5 wins in as many days to beat very tough teams, including Louisville in the conference tournament finals. And now UConn puts themselves in position to maybe hop up to a 4 or a 3 seed, which would be big, as opposed to a 5, because there are a lot of sleeper teams in. And then we go to BYU, the Mountain West Conference. Jimmer Fredette, yeah, we all know he scored 52, more than he's ever scored, which is saying a lot because he's had a lot of amazing games. But then BYU just laid an egg against San Diego State, which makes no sense because BYU has beat San Diego State twice in both places, and San Diego State demolished them, and BYU in the entire game scored just 2 more points than Jimmer Fredette scored himself the game before. They couldn't get anything going. I was rooting for BYU. I really like Fredette. He's going to be a good NBA player, even a better version of Stephen Curry, but they have to turn it up a notch if they're going to go anywhere. In the big dance, I thought they would have a shot at a number 1 seed. Not anymore. They had to win that conference. So that'll wrap up this edition of This Week in Sports. Kemba Walker, great tournament. Good luck in the big dance. Selection Sunday. Let's see how it happens, and I'll do some Final Four predictions which Rita's done, but I'll put out mine too on Mega Sports Tube. So until then, see you later.